So now, finally, moving on to special questions. What I mean is questions which begin with words like what, where, when, and how. And these are usually called WH questions because most of the question words begin with the letters WH. Concerning the word order in a special question, you should note that auxiliary verbs come immediately after the question word. And this appropriate auxiliary verb will change depending on what tense you're speaking in. So let's look at some examples. In the first example, how much time does it take you to get to the office? Here we're speaking in present simple, so we use does after how much. In the second example, where can I hire a bike? Here can is a modal verb and acts like an auxiliary, so we put it immediately after the question. The third example, how do you usually get around your city? Again, present simple, do is our auxiliary verb. Next, what is your colleague in charge of? Here, again, is our auxiliary verb because we're speaking again in the present. What is your colleague in charge of? And one final example, why isn't it common to negotiate the price here? Here, even though isn't is negative, we still use it exactly the same way. It's an auxiliary, so it comes right after the question word. And you should also note that if there is a modal verb, can, may, should, we put it directly after the question word as well. That's all for today. Now, I hope you all feel a little bit more comfortable now about your knowledge of some of the peculiarities of the different kinds of sentence structures in English. And just to make sure you know them, let's review the differences between each kind of interrogative structure together. General questions will begin with an auxiliary verb. For example, have you ever been to the USA? Or shall I inform you about his arrival? And all of these can be answered with either yes or no. Alternative questions also begin with an auxiliary verb. However, these require you to choose between two objects or more. And these are separated by the word or. Would you like tea or coffee? Do you prefer reading books or watching TV? Special questions begin with question words, where, when, how, why, which, etc. And the auxiliary verb here is used immediately after the question word. Where have you spent the weekend? And why are you so upset? Questions to the subject begin with what or who, and there is no auxiliary verb in the present or the past simple tenses. And remember to use singular verbs after what and who. For example, who helped you? Or who was responsible for this? Or what is the reason for this? Finally, disjunctive questions or tag questions use the same word order as an affirmative sentence or a normal declarative sentence with a question tag at the end. For a positive statement, you use a negative tag, and for a negative statement, you use a positive tag. And be sure to use they in conjunction with nobody, somebody, and everybody. It referring to nothing, something, and everything. Remember to use a positive tag after no, nobody, nothing, never, and hardly. And remember to use are when speaking in the first person. And some examples of the disjunctive question are, nobody is at home. Are they? Everyone is satisfied with this decision, aren't they? And nothing ever changes, does it? Now, that's everything for today. Be sure to review all of the information contained in the tables and review this lesson a couple times just to make sure that you know it. See you next time.